The Mighty Ducks Game Changers episode 6 is out now, and I went into this episode expecting it to be great because I heard from a few people that this was the best one yet, and yeah, they're right. Overall, so far, the show, as I've said many times, has been good. It has been great, but it has been bad, so it's just kind of fun overall. But this episode was truly great. It was just like a full-on blast from the past. It was full of so much nostalgia. I really actually love this episode, and I never expected to say that about any of the episodes in this show. Spoiler warning as always, but the last episode ended off with Dylan Playfair, who's the coach for the Ducks, and Riley and Letterkenny, which still, I'm going to say in every video, perfect casting. He's going to get typecast as a hockey player every time, but still. And he offers Evan a spot back on the Ducks. And then this episode opens with him going to meet with Coach T, is his name in the show. And they have this conversation, and he's almost trying to like trick him into it. He's saying like, oh yeah, college scholarships, you get to play for state. And I'm just like, this kid's like 11. Why are they talking about college scholarships? But, oh well, that's kind of addressed later when Alex is like, why are you even thinking about that now? But it makes sense. And then Evan's like, okay, I'll think about it. And then Coach T tells Evan to go to the practice, and he does, but that comes back later because it's really just weird seeing him in like all orange, which kind of, it's funny, makes him look like a pylon, but he is a good player with all the Ducks who have like darker jerseys. And then he does a shootout move, which was a little bit weird because he does the shootout move, one of the Ducks records it, but he does wrap around. Can't do that. And the goalie should have just gone into the butterfly and saved it. Terrible goaltending, but oh well, it's a show. It doesn't really matter. But that video comes into play later on in the episode, which I will talk about, don't worry. But the reason this episode is so great is because the original Ducks, some of them, come back, and I've been waiting for this the entire show. This is one of the main reasons I actually watched the show. I was interested to see what they were going to do with it, and they pulled it off really well. It starts off with just something that's so amazing where Gordon Bombay is driving through like a construction site, and then his window breaks. Who do we see? Fulton Reed. I mean, what happened the first time you saw him? This.
Look, it was an accident, all right? Never mind the window. Where'd you learn to shoot like that? Didn't learn, I just do it. Do it again.
It was so smart. I loved how they talked, and then he told him to come to the restaurant, so then Gordon like plans to go there, but there's also like this Ducks gala almost, and he realizes that, I mean, they say like come to it, he's like, yeah, I will, and then he realizes that he wasn't invited because Alex talks to Stephanie, who's like she beat her in the slapshot competition, and Stephanie's basically getting her revenge by making her go get pairs of like 372, I think, pairs of sweatpants, and then organizing all these bags because now she's a Ducks mom, apparently, because Evan went to the practice, which I don't know how Evan went to that practice without his mom knowing and all his gear and stuff, but oh well. And she's kind of just like, make your own decision. You either go on the Ducks or stay on the Don't Bothers. And we see Evan just thinking through it. We know what he's going to pick, but it's still nice to see. And then they're at the restaurant, and it's only some of them, obviously, but there's just such amazing stuff, like Aberman talking the way he used to, and they're looking at themselves, the pictures on the wall, all that, and they drink and they say quack, 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 and I honestly, not even gonna lie, I got actually emotional in some scenes. So the scene I got the most emotional in was like a little bit later, but I'll talk about that. And then as they're at this gala, obviously those Ducks players are there, and they kind of got mad at Gordon because they thought that he wasn't like loving them and like still believing in them after the Ducks, after he like basically fell off the grid, as they say in a lot of it. But then we realized like he's got a lot of mail backtracking, and obviously he wasn't invited. But Evan shows up there and he says to Coach T, he's like, nope, I'm not joining, and all the players are surprised and all that, and he leaves, and then all the players are like, why is Coach T getting like this lifetime achievement award? So what do? Oh, this was the best part of the show so far. They go into the limo that Aberman drives, and they drive out on the ice in the Ice Palace. That was just the most perfect thing I've seen from the show. Obviously, if you're a fan of the first film, you know that's how Gordon met these kids, because he drove out on like the pond basically in the limo, and then they get him to go, and then they go to this Ducks gala show. I think it's called the gala, yeah. And then this is a little cool smart detail, they walk in a V up towards him, and then up towards the stage, and they're like, excuse me, if anyone's supposed to get the Lifetime Achievement Award, it's supposed to be this man, Gordon Bombay. And then they walk up, they steal the microphone, and you see like Stephanie like holding the plaque like this. It's really funny, and then they all start speaking about all this, and like I was just like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted this show to be. It's almost in a way of like Cobra Kai. It's obviously not as good as Cobra Kai, but you need nostalgia in here, and I don't care that they're taking these characters and fully like milking it almost. It doesn't matter to me. It was so entertaining. And then the part that really gave me chills and made me actually emotional, which I never expected this show to make me emotional, but that's when all the players are at their practice and Gordon like accepts the spot of the assistant coach, and then he says, okay, here are the old players, and they skated on the ice and they're playing with them, and I was like, this is so great. This is exactly what I wanted to see from the show. It took them 6 episodes to get there, but those first 5 were quite entertaining. This one was by far the best. And then, of course, it ends with them taking a selfie, and then the female player who was on the Ducks, I always forget her name, she takes a selfie, she's like, I'm gonna upload that straight to Insta, which I was like, really, come on. But then as she goes on, she sees the video that they took of Evan doing that shoot a wraparound thing, which again doesn't make sense, but oh well. And then she shows it to the rest of the team, and then they're kind of mad, and they look at Evan, they storm off, and then that's where the episode ends. The camera pans up, and Evan's just on the ice alone. So obviously he's gonna apologize, and the whole team's gonna come together. And I feel like Charlie Conway is gonna come back because they name dropped him here. He hasn't shown up yet. That's either their way of covering for him not coming back to the show, or saving him for like the finale, probably like one of the final scenes, or maybe like the second scene of the finale. I don't know, I guess we'll see. But overall, this episode was pretty great. This is by far the best episode of the show. I don't think anything will top it. Maybe the finale if they're able to pull it off, but I'm actually excited to see the rest of the show, because before I was like watching them week to week, but again, it's Saturday and this comes out Friday, so I'm not like rushing to go watch it like I was with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm like, yeah, this is entertaining, but no, this episode was really great. All the emotion was there. Everything I wanted this show to be was here, and I'm going to give episode 6 of the Mighty Ducks Game Changers a 4 out of 5. Yeah, it was really that great. That's obviously the highest rating, and people are probably like, oh, why'd you only give it 0.5 higher than like some of the other episodes? Trust me, this one is much better than the other ones. I couldn't go and stretch to give it a 4.5 out of 5 just because there are some things in it. Of course, let's upload this on Insta. I'm like, why are you giving them dialogue like that? There's little things, but you can really nitpick almost any movie or show, but this one's really great. This is what every fan of the original movies will love. It may take them 5 episodes to really get there, but after here, I feel like it's just going to keep going. It's hopefully going to keep up the steam. But thank you all for watching. Tell me what you thought of this episode in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.